that is coming out very soon. Stay tuned for that. I will let you know as soon as I know more. But hang on one second, man. We got a caller here. Let's see who the fuck this is, man. Hey, you're on the Zach Moonshine show. Who the fuck is this?
Hey, it's Brendan.
Brendan, what the fuck is going on, man? From Wasted Theory.
Yeah, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. So,
right on.
So, Brendan, what's going on right now in the world of Wasted Theory, man?
Actually, quite a lot going on right now, man. We are about probably a couple months away from releasing the new record on vinyl, courtesy of No Slip Records out there in Atlanta or Georgia there. And then we're actually going to be hitting the road in May to help support the record. We're coming all down through the South and going to venture into the Texas area and come back up to the Midwest and all that good stuff. So we're actually going to be hitting the road for a little while this year.
That's really cool, man. I was going to ask you if this was going to get the vinyl treatment for this album, dude.
Yeah, definitely. Vinyl is absolutely fucking crazy popular right now, so unfortunately all the vinyl plants are backed up for months on end. But I think we ordered this vinyl, I want to say in like November or something like that, so it's going to be probably about April before it comes out. But yeah, he's No Slip is doing an awesome, they're doing like 3 different versions of it. It's going to be all kinds of like crazy color combinations and all kinds of crazy shit, so it's going to be pretty awesome.
That's fucking cool, man. How did you get hooked up with No Slip Records?
I actually just sent him just out of the blue one day when I had just first started looking for some labels that might be interested. They were literally one of maybe 10 that we emailed, and I gave him a copy of our last record, Death and Taxes, and he fucking loved it, and he was like, I'm all about working with you guys. And so we pretty much just kind of went in under the strength of the last album, and he kind of just had enough confidence and faith in us. So, when we turned in the material for this new one, he was stoked, and he was all about it and super excited. So, yeah, he just basically just picked us up based on that.
Very cool, man. Well, yeah, No Slip is fucking badass, dude. I've got a couple of records from them, Hell Hookah and Mother Slug, man. Fucking the quality the quality is top notch for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, right on, man. So how long have you guys been doing this, man?
I think around like May or June this year will actually be 5 years for us as a band.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
How exactly did you guys get this started?
Just, one of these typical run-of-the-mill type, Craigslist type of hookups. I just was in between things and saw an ad for a band and just kind of rolled in there and auditioned. And, at the time it was me and Larry, the singer and lead guitar player, and it was 2 other guys who weren't even in the band anymore. And we just, did the typical, garage rehearsal thing, and 4 or 5 months later, we were starting to play gigs and stuff. So, it's, obviously we sounded a lot fucking different back then than we do now, but it took us a little while to kind of find our sound. And I think the true birth of our sound is pretty prevalent on the last record, Death and Taxes. That was when everything just kind of started to mesh together. All the shit we did before that is just, demos, in my opinion. Ain't nothing worthwhile.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
As far as like your influences, what would you say influences you or the band as a whole?
Well, I'm I'm not really huge into like the doom scene or the doom type of music. I know a lot of bands are, they credit Sabbath and, bands like that. But, we're kind of more of like a rock-based type of band. I grew up to, Aerosmith and Bad Company and, Zeppelin and shit like that. And, I didn't want to do something that was, crazy, just super slow and sludgy and things like that. I wanted to keep it kind of upbeat. So, those guys, we share a lot of similar influences, but I'd say directly, Orange Goblin is a huge influence for us. Deliverance and, Era COC is a big influence on us. I think, personally, when people always ask me what we sound like, I always tell them, if you crossed Orange Goblin and Road Salt together, I think you'd get an idea of what we sound like.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, man. When I'm listening to it, driving down the road, it definitely has, like, it's got that rock feel, that groove and shit that makes you, I don't know. When I was watching the video that you guys just put out, and there's these little clips and shit that you guys have in there of these chicks fucking dancing and shit, that's kind of what I already pictured in my head when I was listening to it. I was just picturing people fucking jumping around and shit, I don't know,
right,
man. But it's like, it makes you want to fucking groove,
Totally, man. And when we were talking about, wanting to do things for the video, I said, I don't, we're just a bunch of fucking dudes that like to jam and drink and have a good time and, some, recreational, use narcotics, if you get what I'm saying. But, at the same time, we're not super fucking political. We're not this or that. We just like to be a rock band. And I feel like there's nothing more rock and roll than just, fucking bikers and fucking hot chicks. And, I'm not crazy about the serious side of rock and roll. To me, rock and roll is, and it's an escape. It's a fun time, I don't like to get too fucking deep into shit. That's why when I write the lyrics and shit for the songs, I'd like to kind of keep it on the, the fun side of things. And, because just like you said, when you're riding down the road listening to that, that's what I have always envisioned when we write songs, is shit that you can just crank up in your fucking car and just drive fucking 90 miles down the road to. Like, to me, that's what Wasted Theory is.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it definitely makes you want to put your fucking put the pedal down for sure.
Right on.
As far as the album art, you guys got some really killer album artwork, man. What can you tell us about that?
Well, we actually, for this new album, I'm actually a big fan of, there's a guy in Germany named Alex von Weeding, and he's done, he's done so many things for so many great bands, from Wofat to Lord Fowl to just, anybody in the stoner rock genre, he's probably did an album cover for, and I've always been a big fan of his work. And we knew going into this one we wanted something completely. I mean, look, let's be honest here. When you going on Bandcamp or YouTube, iTunes or whatever, and you're looking at new stoner rock music or stoner metal doom music or whatever, it's kind of like a lot of the covers are very, very similar. You can kind of almost tell what kind of band that band sounds like just by looking at the album art. And I told him, we don't want that. We want you to be able to come up with something that it's going to actually make people say, this is some badass fucking artwork, but let me check them out, because I don't even know for the life of me what kind of band this would be. And so I think the artwork, it hits definitely more to what we were looking for. Something that just kind of had a very big presence, but you couldn't look at it and go, oh yeah, that's a stoner rock band, So we hired this guy. He fucking knocked it out of the park with the artwork, and we couldn't have been happier. The last album we actually had designed from the singer, his name is Matt, of a band up there in Ohio called Dr. Smoke. He actually designed the artwork for the last album.
Nice.
And we were happy with it, but this new one is definitely, top notch in my opinion.
Yeah, man, for sure. Well, as far as the live show, for the people out there who have not seen you guys live yet, what can you tell them to expect?
We actually just take a very, basic fucking balls to the wall kind of approach when we play, man. We try to incorporate, a lot of good energy, but a lot of fun energy too. You won't see any kind of, 20-minute, crazy, slow, sludgy, intros to our set. We just we get in, we get fucked, and we get out. That's the bottom line.
Fuck yeah. Get loud or get fucked.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hell yeah, man. I got a few questions coming in through the chat room, dude. Fucking, let me ask you. Secret Weapon wants to know, have you had any disasters while performing live, tech or personal injury?
Disasters? I can't say any disasters other than just your basic guitar player fucking breaking a string, or, our bass player loves to step all over fucking wires and cables and shit when we play live. But other than, a quick little 30 seconds of, losing a guitar or losing a fucking, vocal cable or some shit. No, we're pretty pro when it comes to shit like that. We make sure, all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed before we get on stage.
He also wants to know, do you ever get in any fights or get arrested while on tour?
No, we stay pretty, we stay pretty good on the road. I mean, we fight with each other quite a bit. That's about it.
Right on. Next one is, who taps the most groupies?
Groupie? No, there's not really too much groupies going on. No, we're old ugly dudes, man. That's just for good looking hot young dudes, and we're not that.
Fucking 80s, man.
Yeah. I mean, if we were like a fucking winger tribute band or something, maybe that'd be a different story. But yeah, no, it's stoner rock, man. There's nothing but fucking 40 and 50-year-old fucking out of shape dudes coming to our shows, which is awesome, because they dig what we're doing. But yeah, the hot 18, 19, 20-year-old chicks definitely stay about 50 miles away from every venue we play.
Well, something I like to ask everybody that I get on here, man, out of your whole entire career so far, what's the craziest fucking thing that you've seen happen? What's the thing that sticks out the most in your mind?
Being in this band, craziest thing happened. We've got to open for some really cool bands. We opened for COC once. That was pretty awesome. But as far as crazy, I don't know. We've blown a handful of tires out on the highways going 80 miles an hour. That's always kind of fun. But yeah, nothing too crazy, man. We're pretty we're pretty chill most of the time. Nothing too outrageous.
Right on, man. Another question from the chat. Soggy Bog wants to know, does Wasted Theory do you guys do any cover tunes?
We don't anymore. We used to do, when we first started out, we used to do Supernaut by Sabbath. We've done Sunshine of Your Love by Cream. And we just, we kind of just did our own thing with it. Trying to think. We don't incorporate anything now, although I would like to bring Supernaut back into the set. I always kind of enjoy playing that. That's a fun one. And you kind of get to see who in the audience kind of knows what's up when they see, when they hear a band playing that song. But now we're trying to push more of our own material right now. Plus, a lot of times, we play these venues. We try to stay on the road as much as possible. And a lot of times we play these venues that we don't really know too well, and we don't know if they're going to be cool with people playing covers in there and shit, because sometimes that's no dice in some of these venues. So we just try to keep it with our own stuff for the most part.
Right on, man. One of my favorite tracks, myself personally, well, I've got a bunch of them off the new album. I've been listening to this thing fucking nonstop for the past few weeks. But Amplifier, dude, the riffs in that fucking thing, man. How'd you guys come up with that song?
That song actually was written pretty early on when we started writing for this record, and there is a song on the Coupe de Grace album from Orange Goblin that kind of has a very just kind of like a more of a bluesy style kind of riff to it. And we were just kind of sitting around band practice one day, and that fucking song came on, and I had said to those guys, I was like, we need to fucking write a song like that. And they just busted that riff out, and boom. And I was like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was going for. And I actually, that song is kind of an oddball because typically our regular MO is, we come up with a cool riff, we jam it to the verses and the chorus and all that, and then we'll do we'll put the lead in there and just kind of jam it out a little bit, kind of similar to Black Witch Blues, kind of the format for that. But with Amplifier, I didn't want to do that typical same format, so I'm actually a big fan of a band called Whores, and I was watching a lot of their YouTube footage of their live shows, and they just have this fucking way of just, they have these old school hardcore breakdowns in their songs and just a lot of their writing, and I said, I want a horror style riff in the middle of this song, and that's why the ending has such a different vibe than any of the other songs on the album, because I basically wanted to be like like Whores. And so that's where that song came from.
Hell yeah, man. Another song that sticks out to me is And the Devil Makes Three, and there's I noticed when I'm listening, but actually I've noticed it with a lot of you guys' songs, man. There's so much different character to each song. Every song is completely different, and you guys do a lot of different changes and stuff like that. But I noticed you were doing some different drum things in that Devil Makes Three that kind of stuck out to me, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, Devil Makes Three was one of the very first songs we wrote. Probably, I think it might have been the second song we wrote for the album. And that song, we still play that one live. It's definitely one of the more high energy songs on the album. But to your point of the songs having their own individual vibe and characteristic, we're very cognizant of that when we write. We try to make sure, because, dude, I mean, yeah, you know how many fucking albums you get and you buy, from bands, either you see them local or whatever, and you get their album and you listen to it, and it's just like 10 fucking songs that literally just sound like they were just one big fucking continuous song. And I'm like, there's no definition, there's no separate, like, this could have just been the same song 10 fucking times. So we're very aware of that when we write, and we try to give each song a different kind of feel. So that one, we had never written anything that was kind of that speed and that kind of vibe before. So when we first started writing the record, that was, I think, the second song we wrote. And it's definitely one of the funner ones to play too. So I'm glad people are kind of picking that one out, because that's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool thing about your record too. Like, you can listen to the whole thing from front to end, and you don't get fatigued on your ear about it. Like, it reminds me of, like, listening to old school records from when we were kids, man. Fucking Judas Priest and stuff like that. You can listen to it from the front to the end, and it's constantly changing and shit. So you don't get sick of it.
Exactly, and that's definitely awesome that people are hearing that, because we wanted to try to make sure that was the case, that we didn't want people, because, dude, I mean, right now this whole, like, stoner metal genre, surge is just fucking taking over the planet. And I mean, I'll never knock any musician for starting a band and doing what they love, because I've been at this shit since I was a kid. But there's a lot of times, man, where you love a certain band and a certain type of music or whatever, and then you just go and you replicate the same shit, and it's kind of like, come on, man, like, don't you got your own interpretation of this shit? Like, you know, and when I go on Bandcamp, you know, I used to run a record label for a few years there, and, you know, I would always go on Bandcamp looking for some new stuff and trying to check out, you know, who was up and coming and all that kind of thing. But damn, dude, I mean, there's a lot of fucking bands that just sound exactly the same. And dude, if that's what you dig, then that's what you dig, and I'll never knock you from doing that. But, you know, I just kind of wish that there was a few more bands out there that kind of were just maybe taking the basics of stoner rock or whatever, or doom, and just kind of taking it up a notch, you know, doing their own thing with it and making it a little bit more interesting. Because, dude, there's a lot of fucking monotony out there, and it drives me crazy. So we're just very aware of that fact when we try to write, and we're like, I don't want to write 10 fucking songs that sound exactly the same, because ain't nobody going to enjoy it, and we're not going to like playing it.
Hell yeah, man. All right, well, Brendan, what kind of plans do you guys have for the future?
Well, we actually have some really cool stuff happening for later this year. We're actually going to be going back in the studio to cut some new material for a release for 2018 that I can't exactly disclose just yet. But we have some very, very cool things that we're going to be announcing this year that we haven't even, this is just the tip of the iceberg right now, man. There's a lot of cool things coming up. So 2018, we're also thinking about doing a West Coast run. So we want to get to the other side of the world there. And, you know, who knows? Maybe 2018, 2019, we might look at doing a few, overseas dates or something like that, you know. If the need is out there, you know, if people are interested, we might do it. But, yeah, I think 2018 we got some cool shit coming.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, I definitely think you guys got a shot at it, man. Fucking no doubt.
Thank you, brother.
Brendan, any last words you want to leave us with before I let you go, man?
Thank you very much for inviting me on the show, man. It's definitely awesome, and I'm glad to hear that you're digging the album, and I hope everybody that's listening gets a chance to check it out and check out the new video and all that stuff. And, yeah, rock and roll, man.
Hell yeah, dude. Before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag?
Yeah, man.
All right, just say this is Brendan from Wasted Theory, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
This is Brendan from Wasted Theory, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in, Brendan. I'm gonna fucking
Thank you, brother.
I'm gonna blast some fucking Wasted Theory for these motherfuckers so they can hear what we're talking about. You take it easy, and I'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, later, dude.
Later on.
There you have it, folks. Fucking Brendan from fucking Wasted Theory. And if you have not heard them yet, guess what? I'm about to fucking blast this shit in your fucking ears, man. Loud as fuck. This song is called Amplifier. Crank it the fuck up, motherfuckers. It's Metal Devastation Radio.